Hi, within this section, we're going to see something about social media security. So, if you're curious about how hackers steal Instagram passwords, then you're in the right place. We're going to see some various options how hackers use to steal Instagram passwords within this section. And again, you cannot use these techniques in order to steal some random information. Don't do that if you're not allowed to perform so, because you're gonna get yourself in trouble. We're going to focus on brute forcing techniques, and then we're going to see some social engineering techniques as well. Now, if you're ready, let's get started.
Hi, within this lecture, we're going to see how to crack Instagram passwords with brute force attacks. So what is a brute force attack? It means that we're going to create a word list and we're going to try the possible passwords in that word list against a certain Instagram account. And as I said before, this method is not successful 90% of the time because Instagram keeps blocking it. So let me Google and show you what I mean. So I'm going to Google Instagram hack brute force, and this will give me a lot of results. You will see a lot of web pages, a lot of tutorials, and YouTube videos as well. Of course, in your own spare time, you can read and analyze all the possible solutions in here, but I'm going to show you some quick ways in order to do that. I believe my Google is working default in Turkish right now, so let me change in English because it will give me some better results and try to find some Instagram brute force tools. So I found one in GitHub, and remember, GitHub is the web page, is the portal that we share our codes, our programs, so that other people can interact with it. Okay, so they can download these codes, they can make contributions, and so on. And I couldn't find any Instagram brute force in GitHub anymore, so let me just Google with GitHub keyword as well. And I believe this will give me so much more options, as you can see, and you have to try each one of those until you find one which is working. And the reason is that Instagram keeps blocking these tools. So Instagram has its own measures blocking these brute force attacks, and you have to come up with a one that is working. And even if you do, this won't mean that you're going to find the password, okay? And I'm going to show you a one which is most popular, and this is called Brutesploit. However, within this lecture, I'm going to go with the first one that we have found. And 90% of the Instagram hacks are done with social engineering, as I stated before, but it's better for you to learn how brute force attacks are done. So I'm going to choose a tool and continue with it, and you can find the instructions of installation and usage of each tool in the related web page, as you can see. Here we see this is called Instagram Bruter, and it gives us some sample commands in order to use this tool. And I'm going to go with it, and I'm going to share the GitHub page, the GitHub link in the resources of this lecture with you. Don't worry. So maybe the time you're using this tool will be blocked and you cannot succeed finding even your own password, but I suggest you try and find one which is working. So I'm going to copy this, and remember we use git clone in order to clone this into our GitHub folder, okay? So I'm going to clone this into my downloads, and I'm just going to say git clone and the URL of the GitHub page. So we have done this before, right? all we have to do is just go to the Instagram and then find the tool. As you can see, there are some tools in here, for example, Instagram.py. And if you scroll down, you will see that you have to say Python Instagram py and give the username and the word list. So you need a word list, you need a possible password list. And I'm going to use Crunch in order to do that. And we have seen how to do that, right? So I'm going to crunch 7 to 8 characters with characters of X, Y, 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to write this to a Insta word list file. So this will create my possible password lists. I am doing this fast because we have done it before in the Wi-Fi cracking section. If you didn't watch the related section, I suggest you go back and watch all the sections in order. Okay? And I believe this is now saved in my documents or my root folder. So let me see. Let me just run this and search Instagram word list. Yeah, here we have it. Let me go to the properties and see where it's located on my computer. So I believe this is now, yeah, it's under root downloads Instagram. So let me close this down. So we are actually in this folder. So it's written this file into the current folder. It makes sense. So we now see this. So I can run my Instagram.py and give the password list. No, first I have to give the username and then the word list. And the username will be Atilsem, which is my own Instagram account, and the possible word list. And then later on, I'm going to say 10. It's going to be run in 10 different threads, and we're going to see what is a thread in the Python section. Don't worry about that either. So it started testing passwords one by one. If it fails, it will go to the next password and try that one as well. Of course, this will take a long time. So I'm going to Ctrl+C and go out of this tool. I'm going to just leave pad this word list, Insta word list. I'm going to change the content of that. I'm going to show you this method works so that you can create your own strategy and find a way to make this work as well. I'm going to delete everything in this Insta word list, okay? I'm going to just write my own password and some other content as well. So I believe I have to do it like this, Ctrl+A, and then hit delete. So it's deleted, there is nothing in here right now, and I will write XXYY11 and 12, and my password is 12. I know that, so it will take less time and you will see it actually finds the password. So let me run this one more time, and I don't want to resume the previous attack, so I will say no, and it will attempt to find my password, and as it tries XXYY12, it will give me the warning that it's found my password. I'm still waiting for that, and I didn't get it, so let us wait one more minute, and I believe it now worked and we got the password. So right now you know how to do Instagram brute force attacks, but as I said before, this method doesn't work actually very well in the real life because you will have a big possible word list and Instagram keeps blocking these tools. So I believe you should go to the next lecture where we are going to discuss the social engineering strategy for Instagram hacking. Hi! Within this lecture, we're going to discuss how hackers use social engineering strategies in order to hack Instagram accounts. And as I said before, 90% of the time, Instagram hackings are done with this method. and you're going to see what it is in a minute. And remember, you shouldn't do that while you're not allowed to. You can get yourself in trouble, okay? Because most of the people fall for this, and you don't want that because it's illegal. But you have to learn this because you want to make yourself safe, and you want to make your organization safe, because this method, it can be also used for obtaining some other passwords like company passwords and other stuff as well. We're going to create a fake website in which we will ask for the username and the password of Instagram account of a target user, okay? And you have to come up with a creative strategy. Like I know some guys that ask for people's password, claiming that they will give them blue ticks. So you know the blue ticks Instagram has, they give it to the verified accounts, to the celebrities, and people fell for that. They thought that they're going to get some blue ticks verified accounts. On the contrary, they got hacked. So I have downloaded an phishing Instagram social engineering script from the internet, and we're going to upload it to a website, and we're going to launch that website and test if we can gather the passwords and usernames of target users. I'm going to show you how to do that, don't worry. I went to the Google and I searched for Instagram phishing script 2018 or 19, it doesn't matter, it has to be current, okay? And I found out one, because you will find out a lot of them. Let me show you what this script does. Of course, we're going to use that script in a real web page, and we have to make sure that it doesn't contain any harmful data, any harmful codes. And I'm going to delete the harmful codes inside of it, and I'm going to share the codes in the lecture resources so you can easily download it, because you don't want to search for Google and find it on your own and try to analyze the harmful codes and stuff. I'm going to do that for you and upload this code into the lecture resources. So this code basically just takes the username and the password of the victim and redirects the victim to the real Instagram web page, and user will think that this won't even work, this doesn't even work, and they will just close this down like it never happened and continue their daily routine. However, it doesn't only redirect user to the Instagram page, it also saves the password and saves the username, and there is a way to get that password and username with the script. And now I'm going to find a free web hosting just to show you how this works. And of course, real hackers in real life examples actually get some real hostings. They don't use free web hostings because it will look suspicious. Okay, and I'm going to show you how to work with free web hosting, and I believe after I do that in 000webhouse.com, a lot of students will do that as well, and in time this 000webhouse.com will block our script. And you can go to GoDaddy and buy a domain for your own website for $10 and try this as well, but I believe this isn't necessary. You can try this on a free web hosting. If this 000webhouse.com blocks this script, you can find another free web hosting company and try your own in that website as well. So this is where you need to fill up if you want a free sign up. So you need to give a username and an email, and then just click on here, get free hosting. Okay, so it will create a free hosting for you. And I'm going to name my website like test Instagram. you can just choose your own name because this is only going to be a test web page. So my web page will be testinstagram.000webhouse.com, and this is very fishy. Even though I choose a very strong name, it will be fishy as well. So most of the users, most of the victims don't fall for this stuff. However, in the real world, bad hackers really get a paid hosting and domain name, and they just get something like get your blue tick, get your account verified, and have a professional design so that they can just trick the victims. I'll just continue with the free version, and as you can see, it gives me my username and it asks me for an email confirmation. So you have to go to your email and confirm this and then come back to this website. Of course, I'm now working with 000webhouse.com. If you work on different company providing free web hosting, you have to create your account and just go to your free website. So it takes me to a dashboard, okay? And I see a file manager button in here. So even if you work with another company rather than 000webhouse.com, it will surely have a file manager, and this provides us opportunity to upload our files to our website. So our website basically needs an index.html and the files working with it. Okay, and as I come here, I will see a public HTML folder. This is like our HTML folder in the Apache server, and I need to upload my files into this public HTML folder in order to make them visible. So all I have to do is just upload the files that I have downloaded from the internet. And remember, you're going to download this from the lecture resources on Udemy. So I have my index.html and other PHP files that are working with it. Okay, so remember, we have used Apache server and it has this webroot in the HTML folder. So we are doing the same thing. So we have put our folders in here before and it displayed on our Apache server. Now we're going to put our files in here so they will be visible on our website. So I'm going to say upload files from here. Okay, click on this button and it will pop open a window which I will say select files, and it will ask me which files I want to upload. I will choose index.html and post.php. So I'm going to upload those files, and now we are ready to go. Actually, this is it. Now we have created our website. So now we can go to our website and see if it actually works. I believe our address is atilsam.000webhouse.com. So you can just go to your own website by clicking in here and it will open a web page for you. And as you can see, now we have a basic Instagram login page in here. So bad hackers, black hat hackers actually try to enhance this look to make it look more convincing. But basically, if you give a username and if you give a password in here, and if you click login, it will take you to the real page of Instagram.com, and you will think that this website doesn't even work and close this down. However, on the background, it saved this information. So if you come here and type password.html, you can see the captured files and captured usernames and the passwords. As you can see, the username is test and the password is test123, and you can see the IP as well. And of course, I'm blocking the IP, I'm censoring the IP so that you cannot see my own public IP. And now you know how bad hackers actually social engineer people into giving their passwords and stealing Instagram passwords. And this method can be used for Facebook, and this method can be used for Twitter as well. All you have to do is find a way to run the script in a web hosting and social engineer people into coming here and giving their passwords. So let's stop here, and within the next lecture we're going to discuss how we can make ourselves safe against these kind of attacks. Hi! Within this lecture, we're going to discuss how we can make sure that our social media accounts are safe against these attacks that we have learned throughout this section. So first, we have to use complex and long passwords as usual. So this will give us protection against the brute force attacks. As you have seen, hackers will have to create some word list, possible password scenarios where they will have to try these passwords one by one. So we have to make sure that we are using long passwords and complex passwords, even if we need to give some special characters, some uppercase and lowercase characters and numbers as well. And we have to stay away from fishy URLs, fishy websites, where they will ask us the username and password login information from our social media accounts. So we need to make sure that we stay away from these websites, and we need to make sure that we don't share our login information with possible social media stealing third parties. And this includes mobile applications as well. So if you don't trust a mobile application, don't share your social media account information with them. And of course, you can always enable two-factor authentication in popular social media accounts. For example, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Gmail, and Hotmail, they all have this two-factor authentication. So what does this mean? So after you give your username and password, you have to confirm that you're trying to log in from your mobile phone or from your email as well. So even if some hacker tries to get your password and username, even if they manage to get it, they cannot log in before you approve them. Okay? So you have to approve this login from your phone, from your email, from some authentication app maybe, so that they can only log in after you approve them. So this is very crucial. Just stop here and go to your social media accounts and start using two-factor authentication if you're not using it already. So we're going to stop here, and within the next lecture, we're going to discuss a browser exploitation framework, which means that we're going to run some commands on the browser of the victim machine, and we're going to see how to do that with a tool called Beef.
Hi, now you know how hackers use this brute force and social engineering techniques in order to steal Instagram and other social media passwords. And most important thing is that you know how to protect yourselves against these attacks. So now, if you're ready, let's move on to the next section.